Welcome to a new episode of Hssl DNA. Unfortunately, I have noticed that from 100% of people that watch my videos, literally only 10% interact. Every like, every little comment means a lot to me personally because I really put a lot of work in these videos. And besides that, it helps my channel to grow because it shows the YouTube algorithm that there's interest for it. Even though we only had about 2 days at the Blue Lagoon, I enjoyed every second of it. And there was no question about it that I would be back here soon. It was just something so raw and special about this place that I had the feeling it is the perfect spot to ground yourself and to recharge your batteries. But for now it was time to pack our stuff, jump back into the little nutshell and head out to Dahab again. I watched the little coffee place, still sitting on the edge of the world, slowly fade away. Honestly, I'm still overwhelmed by my own life the last couple of years. I have definitely started living life again and stopped spending so much time in my thoughts and my mind. But once in a while I have to reflect, zoom out and look at my life from a bird perspective. Every time I take this position, I still keep on getting goosebumps because I can't really understand how my personal life could change so drastically in a time span of 5-6 years. Of course, challenges are a part of life and they will always keep on coming our way. But it seems like the challenges life confronted me with are so essential topics to life that they either make you break or come back stronger than ever before. Because most of these incidences are things we experience over a longer time span of life, and especially when it comes to death of our parents or family members, which usually occur way later in life. A lot of things I used to do in the past were defined by the people I surrounded myself with. But since so many of these people are either dead or just not a part of my life anymore, the whole meaning of my personal life has completely changed.
Yes.
And for a long time it was literally empty, and I had no clue what I would fill it with. It's crazy to realize that I had to lose everything that was important to me to finally make the decision which meaning I want to give life at all. Which begs the question, were all these experiences really necessary to reach this conclusion? The next day we got up early because it was already time for the next adventure. Because life can only grant you opportunities when you take part in it, which means finding the right balance between things that we already have and we should learn to appreciate, but also understand how necessary it is to learn to let go. We had planned a little day trip to the desert with 2 friends of our landlord that used to come by at our Airbnb. And for whatever reason, Hssl, one of our tour guides, decided to take his cat. We were all a bit exhausted from the days before, but ready for a new adventure. Before you visit the desert for the first time, you would expect it to be this lonely, empty, and dead space of nothing. Luckily, I had the chance to spend quite a lot of time in the desert as a small boy during the time when I lived in Egypt with my mom. We used to do day trips with our school and spend the whole day out in the wild. And honestly, the places you wouldn't expect it at all are mostly the ones that teach you the most. But especially now, being out here in the deserts of Sinai, give me a whole new perspective on life. Because if I can compare the desert to my life in the last couple of years, it seemed like nothing was moving. But isn't this place maybe the best example for that things don't always have to move to exist in reality? Isn't this place the best example for existence without striving for an end result? Something I was fighting with for so long since my small little world collapsed. Because everything I had built up until that point was suddenly gone. Everything that always has been there was suddenly gone. And everything that should have been a result of these two things suddenly disappeared. Productivity and self-expression have always been a big part of my life. And it was literally always the one thing that kept me going, until everything changed and became meaningless. This poor little thing didn't belong here at all.
We're gonna go. I know. Is this really like a live TikTok thing?
No. And I wouldn't even have connection here. But
We finished the first part of our trip through the canyon and slowly headed back to our car. I had noticed quite early during the day that our both two tour guides hadn't really structured this trip, which should always be a good beginning for an adventure. One of the girls that was traveling with us started to have real stomach problems, and Joe had severe headaches. Of course, you would have expected that the water amount was calculated perfectly for the amount of people. But you guessed right, there wasn't enough water. And honestly, for the amount we had paid for this day trip, I would have expected at least to have a small bag of fruits or something. Nevertheless, we headed out to the next destination. And even if the road sometimes gets bumpy, it's your decision how you take these hits.